Motor Club had prepared a new venue at Glen Rua near Kilmallock for their hosting of rounds 9 and 10 of the Naylor Engineering National Hillclimb and Sprint Championship. The Carlow rounds of the series having been postponed to mid-September, this was actually the fourth weekend of championship competition this season. With a looped return road and well-organised field paddock, it is a location with great potential, if a little hampered this time by poor weather and drivers' appetite for knocking cones and other excursions on this, its first day in use. Ed Synan and Seamus Morris brought their ultimate rally class battle right into the top 10. The escort driver led after the first run, but Morris got the better of him in the Darien on the final second run for 9th overall. Russell Stanworth forfeited his first run with a cone strike, but got a time on the board for 8th and 3rd in the Libre class on run 2 in the Reynard. The competition in the new sports car class was really heating up, with Gar Cunningham having made some tweaks to his Global GT, bringing the fight to Paul O'Connell's Norma. O'Connell on his home event was first in the class by 0.89 of a second and 6th overall. Cento Challenge graduates Billy White and Gary Egan are getting more familiar with the top 5 in their super single-seater class, Formula Renault, a joint venture between the two of them. Birthday boy Billy came out best on this occasion and 4th on the leaderboard. Rory Stevens was 3rd, helping him maintain his 2nd place in the championship in the Radical SR8. Round 1 winner Rob Dunne sensed the narrower course might suit his car a bit better and made the most of it with the fastest time on run 1. Reigning champion Joe Courtney, with 5 wins behind him this season already, was just over half a second behind, but has shown a reserve of pace at recent rounds. The pressure was on the young contender to keep pushing. Rob pulled a stunning 2 seconds and some out of the bag to secure his 2nd ever victory by a stunning 1.43 second margin from Joe, who had improved by just over a second. Robert Dunne, it was only 2 runs today, but you must have known, like, you were ahead there after run 1. It must have been a very exciting position to be in, heading out for the 2nd run, knowing Joe has a tendency to make a jump in speed.
Yeah, Joe usually fairly pulls it out of the bag when he's put under a bit of pressure now. But I knew there was a bit more in it the first run. It was a good enough run now in fairness, but there was just get back into it. We hadn't driven the car in a while, so yeah, it just came together pretty well in the 2nd run. Fairly happy now. It was a good day for us.
The last junction looked fairly exciting, the braking there.
Yeah, I haven't seen the onboard yet, but from where I was sitting now, it was fairly hairy, but it's alright.
I had a feeling this one might suit you. We discussed that before.
Yeah, it's great to have a hill with a couple of corners in it. Something you can get slow up for and go around, and like the last couple of weekends it's been fairly flat out, and it didn't really suit the Suzuki, but this weekend worked out pretty well for us now so far. Historic Class 4 is run on a handicap system based on drivers' previous results and attracts an array of classic and vintage machinery under the Historic Racing Car Association rules. Not all drivers competing in the class are contesting the championship. On the Saturday at Glen Rua, Jack Kingston won on handicap in his Lotus Elan. John Farrell in the Mark 1 Escort was fastest on scratch time, and Mick O'Shea took maximum points in his MGB GT. Father and son drivers PJ and Owen Gannon moved up to 3rd and 4th in the class championship, with their Mini in the absence of Ed Cassidy. Cassidy appeared on the first 4 rounds in the Iona Special. Other cars which have made appearances in the class this year were Detlef Hare in the BMW 328, Tony Canny in the TT Sprite, Ken McAvoy in the Ford Graham Special, and Nick Bennett in the Alva Silver Eagle. We are privileged that these drivers are willing to race such rare machinery for us to witness live motorsport history. Dara Fay continues to dominate the Bantam Class 1 with his Suzuki Swift. Damien Walsh continued his run of wins in the Cento Challenge and is beginning to stretch ahead of Danny Hurley, who had a couple of wins earlier in the season, 2nd at this round and in the championship. A 3rd place for Alan Tully, whose pace is on the rise, secured his 3rd position in the series so far. Tommy Gardner rather impolitely beat event sponsor Willie Barrett in the Battle of the Civics in 1600 Saloon Class 2. Danny Callinan made a rapid return in Super Saloon Class 3A with his Opel, mixing it with some of the big 3B cars. Also making a return in competition was Dennis Hogan, in that Ultimate Saloon Class 3B, immediately on form to take the win from Peter McKinley, who was drifting nicely in the Escort. Adam Crahan bailed out of the second run spectacularly. It looks like he might take up farming. The tight course and slippy conditions did not favour Brendan Stone's drift taxi. Outside the top 30 on run 1, he went off trying to tame the Lexus in the tricky conditions on run 2. Not nearly as successful as his Dungarvan appearance, we hope to see him out again soon. Enda Byrne was fastest in the Formula Ford and V Class 5. Mike Nicholson's second will have made up some ground on Class Championship leader John Whitley here. Ger Lyons won a well supported by local rally drivers Class 8. Peter Cummins won Class 9 in the Darien, picking up where he left off in Wexford. For those ready for 90s nostalgia, there was some nice four-wheel drive turbocharged Group A machinery in action. The weather was threatening to be rough for the next round on Sunday, and all-wheel traction could be an advantage in the conditions predicted.